Only their scarlet eyes glowed in the rain, their claws hooked onto the branches, shaking entire trees. They closed in from every direction, gradually sealing off every possible escape route. The branches creaked loudly beneath their weight. A foul wind carrying the stench of rain rushed straight into Leon's face. 2 legs could never outrun 4. That pack of filthy apes refused to stop chasing him. It seemed they were not going to let him go easily. In that case, I will deal with you first. Leon suddenly spun around. A demon ape came diving down from above, baring its teeth. Leon reacted instantly. The moment the monster lunged at him, he raised his right foot and kicked it away with all his strength. The demon ape cried out in pain. Its howl attracted several more demon apes, which charged straight toward Leon. A flash of lightning burst from Leon's palm. Pale blue electricity crackled through the rain. Leon charged into the attacking horde of demon apes and fought them head on. The crisp sound of lightning snapping branches, the demon apes' agonized screams, and the roaring rain exploded through the silent forest. But as the battle continued, Leon frowned deeply. The dragon mark on his chest was growing dimmer and dimmer. He cursed inwardly. Tch. My magic is still building up far too slowly. Unlike other dangerous creatures, long-tailed demon apes were skilled at teamwork and tactics. Several of them launched feints from the front to draw his attention, lunging forward with their teeth bared and claws raised. The rest led around to his sides and back, deliberately creating openings before taking the chance to ambush him. Their claws cut through the air. Their attacks were incredibly cunning. Leon had to deal with the attacks from the front, while guarding against the cold claws behind him. He was forced to fight with his hands tied. Even so, his back was still slashed open. After a fierce battle, a whole group of demon apes fell to the ground. The smell of charred flesh mixed with the scent of blood and spread through the rain. But even more demon apes gathered, drawn by the smell of blood. Their scarlet eyes filled the rainy night, a dense and dazzling sight. A deep gash had been carved across Leon's back. His old wound had also been aggravated and robbed with pain. He cursed under his breath, then took half a step back and leaned against a tree trunk. Damn it. This is getting troublesome. At the same time, in the shadows beside the city gate, Tiger, Rebecca, and Martin were still Tang led with the guards. Tiger watched the lightning in the distance gradually fade. Then he withdrew his gaze. His tone was completely calm, without the slightest trace of worry. That kid made it out successfully. We should leave too. Rebecca turned to look at Tiger. She still seemed reluctant to stop. Her entire face showed that she had not had enough of the fight. Hey, Tilda still want to fight a little longer. There were so many apes. Can the captain really get away? Tiger led them from the front. Several strands of his white hair were soaked by the rain. He was not worried about his disciple in the slightest. His voice was full of confidence. Don't worry, that kid is sharp. And if my guess is right, someone has already gone to pick him up. Rebecca's eyes lit up. She instantly guessed who had arrived. A knowing smile spread across her face as she swung her feet and nodded. Elsewhere, the Empire Spursu RS trudged through the mud and reached the battlefield. The officer leading them had mud splattered all over his armor. When he saw the demon ape corpses covering the ground, he was shocked and furious. His face twisted with rage. He drew his sword and violently hacked at the nearby tree trunk. Every long-tailed demon ape we sent out has been slaughtered. What kind of monster is he? The adjutant beside him gasped for breath. He crouched down and examined the bloodstains and traces of battle on the ground. Then he spoke ominously and waved for his men to continue the pursuit. Even the most powerful monster has its limits. Judging from the traces of battle, he could not possibly have escaped uninjured. Keep chasing. A squad of soldiers led 3 demon wolves by the leash, while carrying torches. Following the bloodstains on the ground, they chased into the depths of the forest. The demon wolves sniffed along the ground and growled softly. Their pace grew faster and faster. The flickering torchlight cast wild, claw-like shadows across the surrounding trees. Deep in the forest, Leon leaned against a raw tree trunk and gasped for breath. Rainwater streamed down through his hair, mixing with drops of blood as they fell into the mud. His stamina had been completely drained. The dragon mark on his chest had lost all its light. His stored magic was nearly depleted. He barely had enough strength left to raise his hand. Ha! Fighting that pack of apes drained far too much of my strength. The Empire's pursuers will be here soon. I have to leave before they arrive. He gritted his teeth and forced himself upright. But after he had taken only 2 steps, the old wound on his back split open completely. From the recent sprint and battle, excruciating pain instantly swept through his entire body, as if knives were stabbing into his flesh. His body swayed, and he nearly collapsed to the ground. He let out a muffled groan. The wound had opened again. Leon had not yet left the Empire Suitor borderlands, but his stamina was already failing. The road to the Dragon Clan was long and distant, and the journey ahead was filled with danger. If he turned back now, he could return to the Empire in less than an hour. Turning back would be easy. But if he did, he might never see Noya Muin and his youngest daughter again. No, I can't collapse yet. I have to make it back. I have to return to my daughter's side. Supporting himself against the tree trunk, he tried to keep moving forward. But the blood dripping from his wounds had already been scattered by the rain, leading the pursuers closer and closer. Soon the soldiers' shouts and the demon wolves' low growls clearly reached his ears. Leon clenched his teeth and hid behind a thick tree. He cautiously peered out at the elite soldiers and demon wolves closing in. His magic was exhausted. His stamina was at its limit. His old wound had reopened. A faint sense of helplessness rose in his heart. There are bloodstains here. Search the surrounding area. They caught up this quickly? An entire squad of elite soldiers, plus 3 demon wolves. Am I going to die here today? He leaned against the cold tree trunk and pulled the corner of his mouth into a self-mocking smile. For some reason, a thought suddenly flashed through his mind. He remembered Red Ross with spreading her dragon wings and soaring through the sky. I suddenly feel a little envious of that female dragon. Those winged creatures. They can fly whenever they want. The instant that thought crossed his mind, a cool, clear voice pierced through the layers of rain and landed distinctly in his ears. It carried a familiar teasing tone, but beneath it was unmistakable worry and heartache. So now you finally remember how good I am? Leon trembled all over. He suddenly raised his eyes. His voice shook with disbelief. Roswitha, in the hazy rainlight, a pair of enormous silver, white dragon wings slowly folded. A spray of fine raindrops scattered through the air. The wind from the wings pushed the surrounding curtain of rain aside. Tiny droplets clung to the silver, white wings, reflecting a soft glow in the darkness. Ross, with his figure slowly, descended in front of him. The wind lifted one corner of her long silver-white dress. Water droplets slid from the tips of her hair down her cheeks. She stood firmly between Leon and the pursuing soldiers. Her back was slender yet utterly dependable, like an unbreakable barrier.